So hey guys, and welcome to another episode of MGC. I want to thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. It's here on up now. Today I'm here with a modified Land Cruiser 200 series. I've been uploading a lot of videos on Land Cruisers, and a lot of you like the 100 series a lot, but you seem to think that the 200 series is sort of a mall crawler and can't go off-road. So I knew this vehicle was around. A lot of you will recognize it here in Kenya. It's probably one of the best modded 200 series that I've seen. So it's a modified 200 series. It's been facelifted all the way up to the 2016 version, and it's got a whole host of features that I will now take you through and show you that you can go for a 200 series, and if you got deep pockets, you can mod it up to look like an absolute animal. So enjoy, guys. Let's just go step by step and cover every part of this vehicle. All right, we're going to start off here in the front. You can see that with the 200 series, this grille is usually chrome, so this has been blacked out together with the badges, and this little piece over here that's also been blacked out. We've got a custom steel made bumper, really well fabricated, together with the sensors for the vehicle put into that. You got some rigid lights. You can see the rigid LEDs. You got one up there, you got one here, and you got the fogs as well, and two projector beams, as is with the 200 series. The car has been finished in this I'm not sure the exact color code, but it's a finish that you would see on the 2016 Land Cruiser and the LX 570. So it's a beautiful silver finish, and you can see the side flares have been added over here. So we have some side flares simply bolted on straight onto the body. You can see that we've got method wheels. Beautiful gold finish with the with the classic bolts, that the way they usually do, and these are some big tires as well. If I just read these out for you, these are BFs, of course, BF Goodrich, and what we have here is a 305/55 R20. So we have a 20-inch rim and 30-inch tire or so. BF Goodrich all-terrain. If you look at the shock setup, this car is running on an old man Emu, so the traditional setup of the Land Cruiser 200 was taken out because it wouldn't be able to handle the extra weight, especially of these tires. So we have an old man Emu setup, which a lot of people seem to like. It's a reliable setup. Old man Emu out of Australia, of course, and we know they do a lot of off-roading in Australia, and old man Emu has been around for years, so it's quite a popular setup with Land Cruisers. On the top, you can see we've got a fabricated roof rack finished in black. We've got a huge air intake over there that feeds from the top, and then it's of course bolted straight into the hood and straight into the air filter. So it actually does change the sound of the vehicle as well. Very nice. So what I'm gonna do now is start the vehicle for you. Let's get this thing started, and let's hear it. Let's open up the hood. Let's see what's been done over there. So what I've attempted to do over there is turn the LEDs on for you, and we'll just get this hood open as well. So there you go. As you can see, we've got the red LEDs on. I can change the color. You can see these as well, and you can see the nice little stripe over here. So very well thought out, very well kitted car, and I like the setup a lot. So let's get in this hood. So as we know, I mean, I've taken you guys through a 200 series before. This is the standard engine that comes with a 200 series. You can see no attempts to make it clean. This vehicle has been in some mudding, and that's what the whole point is. It's capable of doing that. No issues whatsoever. Alright, so what I wanted to do, first of all, I wanted to talk about this paint finish. This has actually got a kind of a pearl paint finish here, so you can see the sparkle that comes out of it. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this look. So I'm going to put a little question on the video right now. Just rate this car for me on how you think it looks and whether you'd do this if you had a 200 series. So what I'm going to do is actually just get in the car now, spin the car around for you, and we'll take a look at the back end and see how it is over there. Alright, so coming to the back side of this vehicle, you can see we've got the LED tail lights, the same ones that you would get in a 2016 Land Cruiser 200 series. You can see the paintwork. Of course, a few things have been blacked out going with the theme of this particular vehicle. You can see this is usually chrome, this is usually chrome, but it's been blacked out. I mean, a full brake light has been added here, and this part has been blacked out as well. And we have more black here as well. And these tail lights have been smoked out. If you can notice that real quick, they've been smoked out. Otherwise, they're usually a bit more red. You can see the side flares continue over here, bolted onto the vehicle. And you can see we've got good ground clearance running a 30-inch BF Goodrich tire. This vehicle has got good ground clearance and a big roof rack at the top, and of course traditional split tailgate as you would expect, with the hood with the normal hydraulic struts. So the specs of the 200 series, when you're thinking about modding up a 200 series, the reason a lot of people shy away from it is because we now know the 200 series actually is an $85,000 vehicle, brand new, and as you start modding it up, that price can add up very quickly. And I'm not sure a lot of you know this, but in Kenya that price pretty much doubles, meaning if you import a new vehicle at $85,000, the duties for the vehicle, once the vehicle is parked in your driveway, you've just about doubled that value. So if you go ahead and purchase a 200 series at $85,000 or 8.5 million Kenyan shillings, you'll end up paying 17 million by the time it's imported, cleared, registered. So you tell me what you guys think about that. I mean, $200,000, I know people in the US, you can start going for Bentley Bentegas or whatever have you, but I would still choose the Land Cruiser, but the values don't make sense. So, but if you get into a used Land Cruiser and you get into a 2008 or 2009 200 series, those values have come down a lot. So it is doable. But guys, let me know what you think about this vehicle, and then I'll take you through the interior right now. It's not much changes except for the standard changes that you expect with the 200 series interior. Of course, for the LED light bars, some switches have been added, and I'll show you how those look right now. But apart from that, all the same stuff. You've got all the sensors on the rear bumper and going around the whole vehicle, and you've got the cameras in this vehicle as well. So this vehicle has retained most of its stock properties while also being modified. Alright guys, so here's the interior of this vehicle. Wanted to give you guys a little showdown. Now I have shown you a lot of 200 series before, so it's the standard trim you expect. This is a well spec'd out cruiser. You got the 10-way adjustable seats. You can see those rigid LEDs, how they're wired up over here. You got two little tabs. You click the rigid button, as you can see, and that's what turns them on. You got 1 level and 2 level. That basically changes the colors. You can have red or you can have green. And so that's your quick little LED setup. Apart from that, we're pretty much stock. The interior, leather interior, and a bit of wood trim, and of course you've got the camera systems as well. So a well spec'd out 200 series, kept pretty much stock. We come around to the rear over here. I'll just show you this real quick. You can see we've got a little car seat in there, but much of what you come to expect with the 200 series. Nice and clean, sumptuous leather, very spacious. As we know, they were able to reduce the engine compartment size from the 100 series to the 200 series, so they fitted the same V8, but it became smaller, so more space in the cabin. Here are our method wheels that we were talking about, with those studs on the outer ring, and our 30-inch BF Goodrich tire, which looks pretty good on this vehicle, and those side fenders to complement the extra size of that wheel. So we move around now. We come around to the rear taillights, the smoked rear taillights. Just wanted to show you a quicker look. You can see I didn't bother to actually get this car washed, but it still looks very nice. Here we got the front view, so imposing. Look at those projector beams, that blacked out hood. The theme really fits well, especially with that pearl gray finish, the sensors embodied into the steel bumper. You got your old man emu setup with those thick coils, and the big all-terrain tire, and the ride comfort. We'll talk about the ride comfort in a second, but quick show here of the side flares, the way I talked about, bolted on to the body, and a little side profile of the vehicle over here, so you can check out the massive air intake, the roof rack, and the over. And here is the rear, those smoked tail lights. What do you guys think of this vehicle? Please do let me know in the comments down below. It's quite a stealth look. It looks pretty nice. We got this roof rack. This has been custom fabricated, and quite a good job, if I may add. A lot of work like this is done in Kenya. As you know, we do a lot of off-roading, a lot of safari. So even this air intake, of course, you have to cut through the vehicle's body, and of course waterproof it as well and rust proof it. But everything has been installed well. You can see the grooves on the hood over there, classic 200 series grooves. We can see that rigid LED bar, and another shot here of those fog lamps. Really like how this front bumper looks, really aggressive. You can see there's an area there for a winch, but the winch has not been installed here. And another look there, you can see the vehicle's camera system has been retained, though that front camera is slightly blocked. Alright guys, so we're inside the 200 series. I'll just tell you how the ride feels, how it feels to drive a modded 200 series, because I have driven stock. I know how smooth it is, so let's see how this feels. Alright, there we go. Let's get this started. So of course the benefits of the 200 series is you get the stop-start ignition. Put your foot on the brake and that's it. So sound insulation is, of course, as you'd expect in a Land Cruiser. It's good, no complaints. And even though this car is modded, the first thing I realized when I drove it, I'll give you some of my impressions when we let's get out of here for 1 second. Alright guys, so we're out in the sun. I think you can hear the vehicle. Sounds really nice. Thick, strong V8 grumble. So how does this car feel? Okay, you guys know from this channel, you guys know I'm coming from the Land Cruiser Cygnus. That thing is just too smooth. So this wouldn't compare with that when you're running 30-inch tires. But I will say, when I did get into it, I was impressed. For the kind of setup this is running in such big tires, the car is quite stable, but there is some rigidness which you can't avoid that when you're running such heavy tires and big tires and rims. So the Old Man Emu setup actually does a good job, but it is quite stiff. But it's not something that's going to bother you too much, because to be honest, driving this vehicle feels like an absolute truck, but in a good way. It just feels really good. You do feel like king of the road, and pretty much everyone on the road is turning their heads and looking at the vehicle. Fuel mileage seems to be at 5 kilometers per liter, and for all the 200 series that I've driven, they've been at 5 kilometers per liter. So all these modifications and the fuel economy is the same. That's probably a win in my book. So yeah, I mean, ride comfort is great. You got the leather seats, you got all the stuff you get with the 200 series. And the steering doesn't feel any more stiffer with these wheels. It feels exactly like how it does on all the 200 series. They've got a stiff steering wheel unless you go for the ZX version. And you're gonna be happy. There's not too many issues really. So as you can see, a bit of a rougher road, and it's pretty stiff. And just listen to it. I mean, this massive air intake, it changes the game a bit. It does change the game a bit. Sounds fantastic. So I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been Masai Gaines checking out.